Two
आपका
people
स्क्रीन
enter.
नहीं, देयर इज अ मैनेजमेंट स्क्रीन विच वी कांट सी.
Okay.
और क्या करते हैं हम इसमें?
यही करते, फिर लिंक्डइन में भेजते हैं इसको, यूट्यूब लिंक को, इनर पेज. We are starting the webinar. Here is the YouTube link.
तो मुस्कान, मैंने इंट्रोड्यूस पवन. आई नीड द नेक्स्ट slide in front of me.
This one.
Yeah. And you can start admitting people as they come. मैंने अभी तो admit कर लिया है. I just closed the YouTube window because I was getting a echo. Whatever we're speaking, I was getting as a echo from YouTube after a few minutes, like after a couple of minutes lag. Did we send the packs? Were we able to send the packs?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Pawan. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Sachin. I'm fine. How are you?
Great. Thanks, Pawan, for taking the time out. And all of us are looking forward to your session.
So am I.
Great,
I'm
great,
looking forward to it, of course. Yeah.
great. As we have a few minutes, we have two AVs which would like to wait, more so for the benefit of folks who may not be aware for the First Wings Connect program. Is Muskan, would you like to play the two AVs?
Yes, sir.
Sevilla, a budding entrepreneur.
We might have to try that again, Muskan.
Yes.
Idea. इनसे मिलिए a budding entrepreneur. इनके पास आज एक सॉलिड आइडिया है.
मगर सर, इस सॉलिड आइडिया को एग्जीक्यूट करना बहुत टफ.
यस, लेकिन अगर पार्टनर सही हो तो सफर आसान हो जाता है. वेलकम टू IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक. यहाँ आपको स्टार्टअप से रिलेटेड हर बैंकिंग सर्विस मिलेगी.
सर, बैंकिंग तो ठीक है, लेकिन स्टार्टअप को ग्रो करने के लिए और भी बहुत कुछ चाहिए.
करेक्ट. इसलिए फर्स्ट विंग्स स्टार्टअप बैंकिंग प्रोग्राम. इस प्रोग्राम की मदद से आपको मेंटर्स भी मिलेंगे और उनके एक्सपीरियंस से सीखने का मौका भी.
सर, व्हाट्स नेक्स्ट?
I'll show you. Come. और सोचिए स्टार्टअप वर्ल्ड के प्लेयर्स जैसे कि फाउंडर्स और इन्वेस्टर्स की कम्युनिटी में आपको जगह भी मिले. इस लॉन्च में इंटरैक्शंस भी होंगे और फंड रेजिंग की अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी आपको मिल सकती है. हाँ, क्या पार्टनर? वरना सफर थोड़ा सा आसान. So, the stage is yours. Go and shine. Come on.
First Wings Startup Banking Program by IDFC First Bank. The plan for your plans.
He said Malcolm Vinamara, así que por
That was
Great.
amazing.
Thank you so much, Pawan, and a warm welcome to all of you to this afternoon of a webinar, which is an extension of VC Talk, where, as you know, we get the sharpest and the finest brains from the ecosystem to share their thoughts, their insights, their experiences, and in many cases, a word of advice in terms of how to navigate the current system. We recently had Pawan, and the interview should be out very soon, where he talks about the multifaceted experiences he had in his rich and very, very sort of comprehensive journey over a period of time. He has worn multiple caps, and I'm going to request Muskan to bring the thumbnail again. And Pawan, a very warm welcome to you. A lot of folks may have already met Pawan or interacted with him. Muskan, the PowerPoint. Right. And this is the VC talk I was referring to. And I was saying a lot of folks may have already interacted with Pawan. But for those who have not met, let me introduce Pawan quickly. The next slide, please. So Pawan has worn multiple caps, not just as a founder, and as we'll clarify, multiple times, but has run syndicates, has been on both sides of the table, and has an extremely rich experience in the venture capital ecosystem and the startup ecosystem for a really long time. The most fascinating part of Pawan's personality that I thought that he still takes the time out to educate young founders, and with a group of folks that he has put together, they actually do sessions, education sessions, or sessions that could help address deficiencies, or sessions that could help sort of bridge the gap for a lot of founders. And that's extremely commendable. Pawan, I'm not saying it for the sake of formality, but it's a pleasure and privilege to have you this afternoon here with us. Thanks, Pawan.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's my pleasure as well. Looking forward to this. Thank you.
Great. Just to quickly move to the agenda slide, and again, we had shared the agenda, but just as a refresher, right after the opening conversation, we are going to request Pawan to share his thoughts. And what we thought would be a good idea is, instead of trying to make it too interactive where we end up interrupting Pawan, sort of too many times, we'll let Pawan. I would request people to be on mute if they're not speaking. Honey, we can hear you, but you can be on mute. Thank you. So this is the broad agenda, and then we're going to have a sort of small session of Q&A, and then followed by 4 founder presentations, which are going to be a 5-minute duration. And it's going to be a feat in itself, for founders to be able to compress their story and their narrative in 5 minutes, but we are going to see that happen. And then, of course, we move to the closing remarks. So once again, a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Great Unicorn Hunt. My name is Sachin. And as the program partners for the First Wings Connect program of IDFC First Bank, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you. But the session would be incomplete and wouldn't really take off to a great start unless we set the context in terms of why is IDFC First Bank doing this? Because as most of you are familiar, this is the first time we are seeing a bank or a financial institution do something so concrete for its startup banking customers and move totally outside the beyond banking realms. And we are fortunate enough to have with us Mr. Bhavesh Jatania to walk us through the thought and the journey and the overall context in terms of how IDFC First Bank, and specifically the startup banking vertical, right from being a challenger bank, has now entrenched itself so well in the ecosystem that there's hardly a prominent event, there's hardly a thought leadership session, there's hardly a stakeholder, whether it's a VC, a founder, an incubator, an accelerator, who has not been touched and touched very impactfully by the activities of IDFC First Bank's startup banking vertical. To briefly introduce Bhavesh, who again needs no introduction, he's been very active in the startup ecosystem across different forums and events. But just to introduce, Bhavesh heads the startup banking vertical at IDFC First Bank, a chartered accountant and a CIMA UK topper, having more than 25 years of leadership experience in BFSI and technology space. Bhavesh has been associated with ICICI Bank, IBM, and Standard Chartered Bank, spanning various roles across SME and retail banking. Bhavesh, always a pleasure to hear from you in terms of the new developments, because there's never an old update from your side. There's always so much happening. So warm welcome and an invitation to kick off the proceedings, please.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this. Thank you for, first of all, partnering with us and hosting this event, right? It means a lot to us, right? And I'm sure all the startups also feel the same way. The feedback that we've been getting from them is really, really encouraging there. Pawan, thank you for being a part of this. Really appreciate your time and effort in terms of sharing your knowledge with the participants here on this call, right? Uh, uh, Let me, as we generally do, Sachin, right? Let me give a sense of what we do, why we do, right? And we do a whole lot of ecosystem building activities in the startup space because we clearly understand that for startups, it's not just capital that matters, right? Startups go beyond capital. The need for startups go beyond capital, right? And they need connections, they need knowledge, right? They need networking, they need the entire ecosystem support for them to grow and to build and scale, right? As we all know, right? And this is exactly what we do in First Wings program, which is a founder success program for us, right? One of the key components of our approach to this entire segments being not just banking, because banking is only one part of what we do for this particular segment, but we go much beyond banking and help all these three things, as I told you: knowledge, capital, and connections, right? And we do everything that we do around this, right? There's been many firsts that we've done in this regard. First Things Connect being one of those, right? Uh, uh, a lot many initiatives are already in store. Lot many initiatives people see today on ground being executed as we speak, right? And there's, as you correctly said, there's not a single uh, event or program where we wouldn't be seen, right, as a partner there. And we call it partnerships because we deeply integrate in all of these programs, right? It's not just writing a check, right? It's not about writing a check, but it's about integrating in these programs, building essentially properties which make sense to startups. That's exactly what we do in this space, right? uh, I'm so very happy that this program startup First Wings Connect's been really well received by the people. We're happy to take your feedback and keep bettering it as we go along, right? But we'll continue to work on in this segment, and thank you for your support. Thank you so much. I just would conclude it uh, with uh, with some numbers here, Sachin, right? And I don't know last time when we spoke whether I mentioned these numbers or not. As I speak, we're nearing some 40,000 customers. We're nearing some 40,000 customers
No,
today,
nahi.
and that takes us to be the largest in the ecosystem in terms of any banks, right? And we have already crossed $1.5 billion in terms of business, right? Be it be it liabilities or assets, right? And it's all been possible because of the support that we see here in this room and beyond this, some 40,000 startups who call us our banks and partners, therefore. So thank you. Thanks to all of them, whoever is present in terms in today, and who are not today present but supported us through their business. Thank you again.
Thanks so much, Bhavesh. And I know for sure that when customers appreciate the hard work and the very specific, thoughtful work, that's half the battle won. But the real half of the battle, which I recently sort of had, look at the stats, that an overwhelming large percentage of startups who are not IDFC First Bank customers are queuing up to become IDFC First Bank customers because they've heard the power of First Wings Connect. And I think a better testimony than that about startups who are not, and it's a whopping number. I may not be at the liberty, as you know, to share the confidential number, but it's a whopping number of the applicants who are non-customers of IDFC First Bank, very eager to get in and avail the benefits, and gently nudging us and nudging the First Wings Connect team, saying, hey, when can I open an account? I've submitted the documents. Can I go to the branch and expedite? And, all kinds of conversations that clearly conveys that not only is there one set of testimonials from existing customers who have richly and magnanimously appreciated this program, but a whopping number of customers from outside, all of them on the portal. So it's not a fictional data. It's a real data of people sitting out there. So congratulations once again, Bhavesh, to you and your
Thank
fantastic team for having made the difference and for continuing to make the difference. I'm sure the startup ecosystem is indebted to you and the startup banking vertical and the fantastic team for the kind of initiatives you are driving. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it brings us to the main part, the much eagerly awaited session, where we had requested Pawan to address the bunch of founders from within IDFC First Bank and outside in terms of how VCs invest. And what we have realized that in spite of the plethora of information out there and the Googles and the Chat GPTs and the Perplexities and Claudes of the world, founders are almost thirsty and extremely eager to hear from the VC's mouth what's the process that they follow. And who better than Pawan who even before becoming a VC has been an avid investor, a very keen investor, and has literally seen, like I said, all sides of the table. And without further ado, I would like to welcome Pawan to share the talk around how VCs invest. Pawan, a warm welcome to you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Sachin. Incredible introduction. I'm still sort of churning the numbers that Bhavesh threw at us. 40,000 startups as your customers. It just shows uh, that the work that you're doing is phenomenal. Startup ecosystem in India and internationally is growing. India needs a lot of this support, and so thank you very much. As a part of the startup ecosystem, I would like to express my gratitude on that. Sachin, one thing which I wanted to say was that in any startup event, it's the founders who are the main part, never the investors. So I have a short presentation. If that's okay, I can.
Sure, please. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Is my screen visible?
It's just loading.
Okay.
No, it's still showing a black screen kind of. Would you like someone from my side to show it? Yeah, it's loaded. Pawan, it's up. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. So basically, it's a very quick kind of a presentation. I I have been a founder, as Sachin has already introduced me. I have also been an investor, and now uh, running a fund which is ZeCa. ZeCa stands for Zero Carbon, which shows that we are investing in the sustainability space. But as an individual, I have invested in all kinds of companies, and I mentor many founders, so I understand various industries. One of the key things which I have seen troubling most of the founders is what does a VC think? So I'll just try and take you through some of these points. So typically, every VC has some kind of an evaluation process, right? First of all, you must remember that every VC is looking for a founder like you, uh, and as much as you are looking for that same VC. So it's about being there at the right time, being able to meet them, being able to pitch to them, and being able to get to a position when they start evaluating you. So the first call is the most important call. There are many steps to it, which I've mentioned on the slide here, but I'm going to talk only about the first two because those are the most important ones. Rest are pretty mundane, time taking, but they just happen as a process. So the first call is when you make the impression. You in the first call, the first three slides, in the first 5 minutes, you get your pitch right, and the pitch is largely around these questions. If you're able to answer these questions, why are you doing what you're doing? Who are you doing it for? Why are you doing it now? So the timing of it, and why you? What is so good about you that you could win this in this market, in whatever market you're building it? And if you're not doing it, what happens then? Right? What if? How is the last part, which generally comes in later? But the first few questions, why, who, why now, why you, and what if, are something which you need to focus on. And I'll try to explain this with an example of two examples. One is a brand called Sugar. I'm sure all of you are aware of that. Uh, Sugar is a cosmetics brand which was launched maybe 15 years back, if I'm right. And the why, which is the most important part of these questions, was the understanding the insight of the founder that the Indian woman is now outgoing. She doesn't want to sit at home. She wants to go out and work. So she spends a lot of time outdoors. And outdoors in India are not very forgiving. We have a lot of dust, we have pollution, we have all sorts of problems, heat, humidity in most of the country. So the cosmetics which were designed for European women or women staying at home in India before were not suitable for these girls. So she made these cosmetics which were longer lasting, which could take the dust, which had enough durability, so to say, in them. So you get that, and if you explain that to an investor, half of your pitch is already done because you already answered the first three questions with just this much of a statement. And everybody understood at that point of time that yeah, the demographics are changing. There was no explanation needed, there were no numbers needed. Then of course you need to support that if you want to, but immediate impression comes up when you come up with this precise pitch. Similarly, on there's another business which I would obviously not name because this is the negative, the let's say the wrong way of pitching. I am in the sustainability space, as I know, so I met one company which is into recycling old clothes, and their pitch was that there are too many clothes lying at home. The customers don't know, the consumers don't know what to do with them, and there is a lot of clothing which is going into the landfills. It is destroying the environment. So we are solving for that. I was like, sorry, this is none of this is the problem that you're solving for. This might be your vision or mission, but this is not the problem. The consumer sitting at home doesn't care how much of their clothing is going to the landfill. They don't really care how much clutter they have in the wardrobes. They still go on buying new clothes. If at all they have a clutter, they distribute it to people, and there are some NGOs which collect it anyway. So, and definitely they're not going to pay you for collecting their clothes. And slowly and steadily, when we started talking, we figured out that the problem that they're solving is for recyclers who are recycling the old clothes. So they're making a collection. They're becoming a collection agency. They're creating segregation, and they're getting the right kind of product to the recyclers, so that they can then create the fiber out of that and then send it forward to the next ones. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? Most important are these questions, and if you understand who your customer is and why they would buy from you, I think half of the battle that you have is won. Moving on to the second one, and I'll give you a couple of examples here again. Now you see three circles here. This is a Venn diagram, and if you see the middle part, which is dark green, that's where every VC is looking for, right? That's where every VC is looking to see their founders at, right? This is the intersection of moat, momentum, and meaning. Moat, as everybody understands what it is, it's your defensibility. It could be your distribution. It could be your product. It could be your technology. It could be just you, your team. Momentum is how fast are you selling? If you're selling, how fast are you developing a product? How fast are you are able to raise money, etc., etc. That's a momentum. And the third part is meaning, which is scalability, which is the most important part for every VC. If the business is not scalable, a VC will not invest. So if there is an intersection of all three, that's a dark green, a VC would definitely invest. If your product or business falls under the two light green areas, then the VC might invest, right? Then there will be some questions asked and you look at them. You must understand that for a VC, they are looking at least a 20 times return of their money from your business. So hence scalability becomes the biggest reason of investing. I'll take two examples here, one of Clevo and the other of SmartTerra. Both of them are our portfolio companies. Clevo is a consumer brand. By definition, consumer products have no moat. But Clevo, when we met them, were very quickly scaling. They were very early revenues. They were at 22 lakhs, 23 lakhs monthly revenue. But in the past 6 months, they had grown from 4 to 24, right? So there was a momentum out there. And the scalability part, as we understand, every consumer business can be scaled if the founder has the capability of marketing it, capability of having insight of consumer, just like Sugar had. So Mayank, who's the founder of Clevo, had clear idea of how to sell to the consumer, and that's why they were growing. So they did not fall into the dark green area, but they fell into the light green. And the dark green is something which we paid for so that they could grow that, which is the brand and distribution. SmartTerra, on the other hand, is an AI tool which is basically working on reducing water leakages or predicting water leakages in complex water distribution systems. They have a very strong moat because they have been working on for 5 or 6 years in collecting all the data, how the water flows, and how they can figure out how the leakages can happen. And of course, since it's an AI business, something which has not been tried across the world, scalability again, meaning is very strong. In their case, momentum was just about building. So they just about made it to the dark green area, but we still consider them 2 out of 3 M's achieved. And we still invested in them. So you can see that that's how we would invest. The rest of the steps, as I said, are mundane. There will be diligences, there will be verifications. The VCs will come to your office, to your home. Maybe you'll meet them in cafes and bars and golf courses, or go for walks or whatever. They would like to understand. You'll have to present to their IC sometimes, and go through various kind of diligences, legal and financial, which will be done by experts. When everything falls correctly in place, that's when the partnership begins with a term sheet and then money. And typically, this partnership is minimum of 5 years, can go up to 7, 8 years as well. So it's like a marriage. So it does take time to build that relationship. So as I said, there are some of these points are repeats. You have to bring out your main insights quickly because the first call is the most important call. You have to focus on the customer. Who is your customer? Sachin told you that I actually run a course in IIT Delhi with some other friends of mine who are also co-alumni and also founders of various businesses. So it's a 12 session course through a semester, and the first session, which is the introduction to the entrepreneurship, we talk a lot about customer, and we keep telling everybody that detach yourself from the idea. That idea is based on some thought that you have, but at the end of the day, you are looking for your customer. And is that really a problem of the customer that you're solving for? Is the solution suitable for them? Will they pay for it? And will they keep on paying again and again for it? Whatever that solution is, it's service or a product. If you found that customer of yours, take a photograph of that customer, put it up in your office, and keep looking at that photograph all the time. Because that's the customer you're solving for, not for yourself, not for your uncle or aunts, definitely not for your investor. So keep looking out for your customer. And that's what you have to pitch when you pitch to a VC about the customer. The product is very important, of course, but GTM is more important. So when you're pitching, you should have an idea how you're going to sell. Is it what business model can evolve out of that? Some idea on that is very, very important. You also have to show an ability to learn, an ability to sell, because without these abilities, you're not going anywhere. I can assure you that every company that I've invested in, 6 months after my investment, the Excel sheets have completely changed. If they haven't changed, I get worried because that means the founder is not learning, because everything cannot be right. There has to be something wrong. There have to be some pivots. So if you only learn and unlearn very fast, and sometimes people say fall fast or get up fast kind of attitude. So in that case, you need to be able to learn very fast and pivot very fast, right? Uh, so if you show the ability that yeah, you're ready to learn, you're not too defensible, things work, right? Um, and as I said in the beginning of the pitch, the founders are looking for you as much. The investors are looking for you as much as you're looking for them. So please don't be scared of that. Uh, do go out, find them in events, find them on social media, uh, call them up. Most of them have their email IDs uh, and the phone numbers listed. So can you? Yeah, please. Yeah. So this is it from my side. And I'm very happy to look at what you guys are doing. I'm available here. I'm available on LinkedIn. As I said, there is only one Pawan Rajkumar, so please reach out to me. Very happy to take questions now. I guess. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pawan. Awesome session and awesome examples that you shared and condensed so much of insight into this very short but extremely impactful session. Thank you so much. We already see some hands raised, and I can see Preetham who has raised his hand, and we have 5 minutes. So maybe you'll cover 3 or 4 questions. Preetham, if you could unmute and ask your question.
Yes, thanks, Sachin. This is Preetham Monskar. I am somebody who's spent 23 years in telecom, and now I'm a tailor. I stitch clothes. We are a made-to-measure tailoring company. I just wanted to make a comment that we are using the old cloth collection drives as a route to market. So to create awareness within the B2B stroke C segments, let's say Honeywell, Zensar, etc. We are using the old cloth collection drive as a route to market. So just wanted to make a comment. And thank you so much for a lovely session. Very sharp, will be useful for us. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Preetham. Any other questions for Pawan? If you could, Chinmay, if you'd like to go next.
Sure. Thank you, Pawan and Sachin, for this opportunity and the amazing session. So this gives a lot of clarity in a crisp session. We are a AI deep tech company. We started and we pivoted. We started as a consulting mode. I spent about a couple of decades, India and globally, spending with clients and solving their digital transformation related challenges. So currently we are building AI
Chinmay, would you like to
platforms.
come to the question if you don't mind?
Yeah. So the question is how a VC is basically looking to a startup who is building platform, because as Pawan mentioned earlier, it is takes a bit of time and globally may not be tried. So to differentiate between platform and services and a investable, basically what from a VC point of view.
So as I said during the presentation, scalability is the most important part. Right. I cannot comment on job products because I don't exactly know that. But in general, what I can tell you is that services models generally scale much slower than products. And also services tend to depend too much on people that might change very soon. So if your services are around AI, which is more like a SaaS, then it's a very different matter. But if it's a consulting service, generally VCs would stay away from that.
Yeah, no, we are building a platform actually around a operating system that hovers around the AI operating system, getting multi-point data ingestion from enterprise systems, subscription basis, and making it a reusable platform mode actually.
Yeah, so overall, this seems investable. Of course, a lot of details need to be gone through. So this platform is not really for that. We can take that offline.
Sure. Thank you, Pawan. I'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chinmay. Piyush, would you like to go next? But before you start, Piyush, just a hygiene announcement. I'm going to request Apna Vikas, Zero, Archibbrain, and Suronex to be ready for the respective presentations. Piyush, over to you. And we are going to just take Piyush's and Tapan's question in the paucity of time. Piyush, over to you. Piyush, you want to ask your question? Please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Seems to be some tech issue. We'll come back to you, Piyush. Tapan, would you like to go next?
Yes, thank you. This is a great session. I really liked how you focused on the first two topics. Thank you. I run a sports tech startup. It's a consumer tech company, and I struggle with how do I come across when I'm trying to present this as a category which doesn't exist yet. Like if you see across the field in cricket from Maidans to pros, there is very little technology intervention, particularly in video tech. And so this means that I am trying to present a picture which doesn't exist yet. What are some examples you have seen of companies talking to you and doing this well, projecting or helping you imagine the category before it exists?
You're talking especially about sports or in general, any category?
In general, what you might have seen.
Yeah. So any VC worth their while know very little of what you're doing. So you will have to convince them. The best way to convincing is to come up with some kind of a story which tells them about a kind of a customer which they could relate to or might have seen, and then they can understand the problem. I think if you are able to connect the problem, whether it's a need gap or it's actually there is an aspirin or a vitamin, whatever that is. If you're able to clearly identify what that is, and then showcase that, okay, there are like 10,000 such customers. Potentially, there could be 1 lakh or 10 lakh, and hence it makes a very big business. Then I think everybody would look at it. There are category creation businesses, and I can assure you that there are quite a few VCs who would be interested in category creation businesses also. 80% of the VCs may not be interested in that, but that doesn't matter because you are looking for just one investor, right? So that's enough for you. So I think that the connection between the why you're doing that, as I said in the beginning, and finding enough customers for that. Yeah. If you can find that and express that.
Thank you.
Swapnil, would you like to go next? And this is the last question we can take.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for this. My name is Swapnil. I have a startup here in India and also in UK. So, of course, we have customers in the UK, and I would like to know, would investors consider a startup with the UK branch, and would that be feasible for investors here in India? And how would it work? So, we're into automotive cybersecurity space, and we export our products, and our customers are Volkswagen in Germany. And that's how the product goes. So of course, I was a little bit confused. Should I pitch to investors in India and UK, and how that? So probably, of course, I would consider my home country. So is it something that investors will consider, or look into?
So yeah, short answer, yes. There is no problem with Indian investors investing in companies outside. A lot of funds in India are actually not structured in India, so you will be surprised to know that. Hence, they can invest easily outside India as well. But funds like ours, which are structured in India, it's a very complicated process of investing, but it is not impossible. So if you have a very good business, which and you can create a lot of FOMO, people will be ready to take that bet. A lot of funds in India now also are getting structured in the gift city, which makes it easier for them to invest outside India.
Right. Great. Thank you very much.
Sachin,
thank you for
can
your
I
insight.
take your
Thanks.
1 minute, please? May I ask some question?
I think we have run out of time. Sincere apologies, but we'll have to move to the next segment.
Okay, no issues.
Yeah, but do share the questions offline and we'll pass it on to Pawan.
Okay, thank you for it.
So we'll have to conclude this session and move to the next segment. where we request founders to present their stories in an extremely compressed time frame of 5 minutes. But the whole idea is for them to be able to share their stories in a forum like this. And I'm going to start by requesting Apna Vikas. Venkatesh, you are there. So over to you. And as they famously say, your time starts now. Venkatesh, we can't hear you in case you're speaking.
Unmute. Yeah. Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good. I forgot to take it off mute. Namaste, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity, IDFC First Wings Connect. Our dream is to become a household name in the next 5 years. That's our vision. We want to democratize empowering people in their career journey, whether they're looking for a new job or whether they are looking to grow in their existing career, and make it very personalized, deeply personalized and affordable and accessible to everyone. If we look at the current career situation, especially in India, the amount of competition is absolutely mind-boggling. I put one little ad and I'm swarmed with CVs. There is also a language barrier. Whenever I've been visiting for the past 6 months or so, multiple institutes in and around Bangalore, tier two institutes and some tier three as well. What I see very common across all these institutes is that the lecturers are teaching the students in Kannada or in Telugu. Just imagine that. So the point is that a lot of students today also expect to be guided in their native language. And on the B2B side, surveys like Gallup have said that more than 53% of Indian employees are looking for a career change. That's more than half. And less than about 18% are actually actively engaged with an organization. So there is a lot of engagement challenges in B2B. There are some solutions, of course. One is the classic human counselor coach solution, but this is very expensive. Large companies, they hire coaches like me only for their leaders. Generic platforms, when it comes to technology like AI, offer very generic advice, the Googles, the Geminis, the ChatGPTs of the world. There are some specialized tools that do this kind of work, but none of them really go into the depth of the personality of an individual, what motivates him or her, what are their core values, and so on and so forth. And there is no existing solution that does this even in English, and nothing like this at all in Indian languages. Zero, nothing. And how we do this is we combine over 32 years of research within our team, within our core team. We blend it with more than 72 years of IT experience across six countries together, and we bring it into one very common solution that blends personality, that blends AI, that blends regional languages, and makes it very affordable to the end user. On the B2C side, we recently launched the first mobile app. It went live just yesterday or so. We give every user a personalized guide, a personalized assistant, coach, counselor, whatever you may want to call it, that either provides specific help based on the user's personality for a particular job that they are applying for, or help them to grow in their existing career by working with them, keeping in mind their personality and their motivations and their personal traits, personality traits in mind. On the B2B side, this is still under construction. When we discussed with a lot of organizations, the need was clear. They said, give us complete ownership of the data, even if it's anonymous. We don't want you to see even a single piece of data. So we are building this solution. It's almost ready. We are going live with the B2C one now. This will follow soon, where every employee will get his or her own guide, coach that is hyper realistic, that the organization can fine tune. They can add personality reports, manager appraisal reports, etc., or choose to keep the employee completely anonymous within their ecosystem. And as part of the unique B2B offering, we have piloted and tested an AI avatar of a human being that again they can customize in a gazillion different ways and have a neural voice with amazingly fantastic lip sync that we would offer only to the B2B world. And this would be our creme de la creme offering for the B2B space. And I can discuss more if you like. And we are already live at RDY to WRK. And the company name is Apna Vikas, which is a registered work in India in 2 categories. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks so much, Venkatesh. Awesome and a very crisp presentation. and thanks for finishing it absolutely on the dot of the 5 minutes. I'm going to request Pawan if there's any comment or insight he would like to share.
Sure. So yeah, as Sachin said, very crisp presentation, Venkatesh. So that was good. If it was a pitch for investing, I guess I would have liked to see some more numbers there. The size of the market, how many companies, how many people, etc. So I was actually thinking about the same thing, that how big is this market? I know coaching happens a lot in the companies, and there is a lot of manual kind of coaching that happens. But is this something which even smaller companies are looking at? If that kind of insight can come out, I think that will be perfect, because then it clearly shows that the market is large.
Yeah, two quick answers to that. Schneider has got their own AI coaches that they roll out to their employees. By the way, not every company is a Schneider. They have a very deep training philosophy. Secondly, in Hindi, we've been piloting with Navbharat Times with some of the readers, and I was shocked to know that these are the actual print newspaper readers. Some of them haven't even heard about ChatGPT. ChatGPT, sir, आपने कुछ बोलो क्या चीज है क्या है? So even for the public at large, the so-called non-Anglo-Saxon world in India, which is more than 90%, that is a big need to fulfill, and our initial pilots have had fantastic results.
Okay. Yeah. So if you could showcase those while you're presenting, I think that would really open an investor's eyes.
Yeah, we
But yeah,
wanted to crunch it in 5 minutes or.
No, that's
Yes.
true. That's fine. That's good. Yeah.
No, but I
Sure.
think you did
Thank
an amazing job, Venkatesh, because 5 minutes for a founder is like an allergy, inducing time duration. But thank you so much for doing such a fantastic job with your presentation. Just a hygiene announcement, since we see a lot of founders on the bridge. And I'm going to request Sana, if you are there, if you could share the link of the portal. So for those who have not already submitted your startup, but would like to be a part of the First Wings Connect, Sana will share a link. And
Yes, I'll be sharing that in the chat box.
awesome. And you can absolutely submit your startup, and then we'll reach out to you. You could choose your Calendly slot, and then of course be a part of the First Wings Connect program, because it is certainly a program that's delighting founders and has been able to sort of accommodate founders across stages and across sectors. So feel free to avail this fantastic gesture that IDFC First Bank is extending to its customers. Thanks so much, Pawan. We now move to the next startup, where we're going to invite Abhimanyu and Swaraj from Zero. And the tagline is Money Intelligence That Understands You. Guys, are you there? Abhimanyu and
Hey,
Swaraj?
hi. So I am a co-founder at Zero and I'll be attending for them today.
Sure.
Just give me a second, I'll share my screen. Yeah, so is the screen visible?
Yes, it is. Please go ahead. The
Yeah,
5 minutes
so
starts now.
Okay, so we're building Zero, which is financial super intelligence specifically for the Gen Z. So we spoke to a lot of people from our age group, and they came up two big problems when it came to money specifically. One is they struggle to track an app, and the other is they are unable to make confident goal-aligned decisions. And the primary contributors to these were UPI spendings were invisible and seamless. Then you had a lot of instant gratification. With Gen Zs, you don't plan ahead or plan 3, 4 years in advance. You think, oh, I want to go on that trip right now. How do I get to that in another 3 months? Or when can I get the leave off? So these are some of the statements that we got through the multiple PMFs that we conduct at the company and when we go out and talk to people. Why we want to start at this time is because we've come into a generation which knows absolutely nothing about finance, how to manage their money, how to go about building a corpus or achieving their goals. We see the market as a 450 plus million user segment target, and when it is multiplied by our subscription fee, we see it as a 31 plus billion-dollar market. We are primarily targeting users from 18 to 28, wherein these guys have just entered the workforce and are about to get their first paychecks. So what we realized is they want effortless awareness because with the current AI solutions that are coming up, they don't want to add manual tracking, for example, using Excel or some other sort of an app. They want clear and confident decisions, wherein most of the Gen Z people do not decide for themselves and rather go for guidance based on LLMs like ChatGPT and Claude. They want continuous control, wherein it's an end-to-end execution of their money and for example, saving their money is something that they would want a complete control over from planning to execution. So we did a competitive analysis to understand what the market looks like. We looked at people like Finanjo, Automoney, Clio, and Fold. These guys force you to live by a set of rules which have been written in like 1990s and do not represent the newer generation. The newer generation lives a very YOLO sort of a lifestyle and thus has no idea about the 50-30-20 rule or any sort of a crude rule that is being set. So we bring you zero. Uh, for the first time in finance, we are making it voice first, wherein we realize that the graphs and numbers usually confuse the Gen Z. So we wanted to create a persona on the application which constantly learns your habit as a spender, who you are, how do you talk to it, or how do you behave with your money, and then respond accordingly. How do we do this? We've built our own proprietary engine, which has four layers and four goals. First is to step in before you repeat patterns that hurt you, quietly fix things when you go off track, turn what you want into something that is achievable, and to help you understand what your spending means. Now, to explain this, I would say, let's take an example. For a Gen Z person, it's very common to go out on a Saturday night and splurge on drinks, food, or gifts. Or maybe it's the first of the month and you get your salary, you want to go and buy out something. But all of those are impulsive spends. Here, Zero would step in and tell you what that spending would mean for you because we've been continuously learning your spending behavior. Now, we take the user through a three-step journey wherein we help them spend smarter, as in understand what their leakages are, how to plug them. Then we help them build a safety net so that they're always liquid and are their money is there for in any sort of an emergency period. And then we help them grow their wealth via investing. So the idea behind Zero can be summarized in one word, which is hyper personalization. So we look at hyper personalization of financial products, for example, credit cards or any sort of financial advice that we want to give you. Because some advices that work for me will not work for somebody who's in my age group because we are two different types of spenders with our money. Where we are currently at the moment, we've got a B2C application which is currently in beta with about 300 users. We're planning to do a larger beta of about 500 to 1,000 users later next month. Then we are in talks with Sconto, which is a student lifestyle platform for our B2B approach, wherein we are providing our financial intelligence to fintechs, banks, and NBFCs to give things like a credit underwriting or understanding the user's behavioral pattern. With account aggregator coming in, it's made a lot of big leaps, allowing us to have insights into who the user is as a spender. Then again, we are part of the IVFC First Bank wing. We have also partnered up with Bhashni and 11 Labs to give out about 12 plus different languages, which include all major languages and some regional languages in India. This is the team.
Arthur, we've run out of time. If you just want to wrap up, please.
Yeah, I'm done.
Great. Thanks so much, Atharva, for a very crisp presentation. Before I request Pawan for his comments, I'm just going to request Manish from Suronex to be ready since Archie Brain founder has a medical emergency and won't be able to attend. So Manish, if you could be ready. But coming back to the presentation, Pawan, would you like to share any thought or an insight or a comment for Atharva's presentation?
Atharv, very good presentation. I think it was very clear from the very beginning what you are doing. I think understanding finances, understanding expenses and budgeting for them is not a generational problem. It probably has always been there and always will remain because there's only a finite amount of money all of us will ever have. you've chosen the right, maybe you've chosen, I don't know the right way, but you obviously know your customers. You've chosen the right way of trying to explain to them. So that's good. What I'm not able to understand is that how are you going to make money out of all this? Is it going to be a subscription? Is it going to be so there are, one is this, and the other part is that uh, behavioral patterns of an individual. How long will it take for your product to figure it out? Whether they love to indulge like once a week or twice a week, or how are you going to figure that out?
So what we've planned is, first of all, when it comes to the money, we're starting with a freemium plan. So that is where we initially get our revenue. Then we've also cleared other examinations like the RIA certificate. So we'll be using the account aggregator framework to collect users' transaction data. This allows us to train our models on their behavioral patterns when it comes to money specifically, allowing us to give out that behavioral information that they would require. And then we keep modeling it as they react with their money, or they act with their money, or they act with the app. That's one. Then we realized exactly what you said. It is very difficult to start making money from a B2C application if it's not an app that you open like maybe 10 times a day. So that is why we started our B2B wing, wherein we are taking all of this rich behavioral data about user spending, and then we're giving it to banks, NBFC, and other fintechs. So that is giving out money from our
Gotcha.
B2B side. And if you look at the overall picture, we want to transition into an AI neobank wherein we're giving out hyper personalized services, wherein something like a credit card, let's say take an example. So I like going out on trips and I like buying a lot of video games. So I would want a credit card that helps me out with that rather than a credit card which might help me out on, say, when I am at the movies. But it might be the opposite for you. So buying a credit card in our space is very difficult because we get asked like 4 questions or 10 questions about what our requirements are, and then we get suggested a credit card. But the problem is the Gen Z do not know what the answers to those 10 questions are. They themselves don't understand what they want. So it is very difficult for us to actually understand the concept of how to manage our finances. So that is the kind of leap we're taking, wherein we want to sit on that informational layer between the B2C and the B2B network, wherein we're allowing fintechs to come closer to the users, and we're also getting the users the kind of services that they would require.
Okay. I think we can get into a detailed discussion at another day, but I'm curious to understand how this will translate into a business. And there are other things we will talk about it later then.
Okay.
But yeah, good job. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Pawan,
Sachin,
and
if I could
thanks so
just jump in
much.
for a minute.
Yeah, Bhavesh,
Atharva,
please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Where
Hi,
are
sir.
you based? Are you based out of Bombay? Are you based out of?
No, so we have moved to Gift City specifically for this because we want to be in the hub of finance, get to understand what we want in the future and what we want now.
Yeah, I just saw that you are already working with us on something.
So we are in talks with Sconto, wherein we are finalizing our legal requirements as to who owns the data, how is data transferred. But apart from that, they will be running a pilot after this, and if that works out, then we'll start our B2B wing before we start our B2C.
Yeah, on the B2B side, we may be interested. So whenever you're ready to give us a shout, and we would obviously need to explore this
Sure.
further.
So Atharva, I hope you caught the last sentence. Bhavesh was saying that whenever you're ready, they would be interested in talking to you with the B2B piece once it's ready. Atharva, are you there? Okay, I think Atharva, there seems to be some issue at your end. I'm not sure if you're able to hear me, but do be in touch whenever the B2B piece is ready, is what Bhavesh was telling you. Great. We move on to the next presentation. Suronex, Manish, are you there?
Sachinji, I'm here.
Great. So Manish, as they famously say, your time starts now. I don't want to steal your thunder, so over to you.
Thank you so much, Sachinji. Really appreciate that. And thanks for this opportunity. It is, we are already getting a great support from this platform, First Wing Connect, and thanks to IDFC Bank, we are utilizing all the benefits from a startup standpoint, enjoying it. Thank you for all of that. I'll share my screen very quickly.
Sure.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can. Please go ahead.
All right. Very good evening, Pawanji. My name is Manish K. Saini and based out in Delhi and NCR. I'm into the industry from last 26 years now. My core team is again having an average experience of 26 to 27 years. So we started this company, and this is my second stint after my first startup started in Singapore a couple of years back. But as I'm into the industry and more focusedly working around IT, security operations, compliances, IT audits throughout my life. Work with companies like IBM, SCL, Sun Life, and wanted to build something which is really valuable for the industry. So we founded in June 2025, and the idea was, again, the problem is same. The day when IT came in the picture, the second side of the coin is the security of it, right? So we are again in this AI era trying to solve the same problem. Nowadays, I mean, from data center till today, in the AI era, security is always a concern. And there are so many tools, so many issues, vulnerabilities, and there are so many things people are trying to safeguard from their company standpoint, right? Personally, I've seen like 100 of such tools and all that. Now, what is the truly problem? And the platform what we have built is a cloud security and AI security platform, which gives the compliance, governance, and the complete risk management around it. The key problem is why we are doing this and what kind of problem we are trying to solve is like, as I said, there are multiple tools. Tools for vulnerabilities, tools for AI assessment, tools for compliances, tools for misconfigurations, right? And we are trying to connect one dot just to bring on one platform that solves the most of the problem. It's like consolidating 5 to 8 tools into one single security platform. Compliance is the second issue. We are, it's always manual spreadsheets, and we're trying to automate every single compliance. The platform already supports 70%, 70 plus compliances across the globe. AI is a new blind spot. I think 85% across the globe, even the enterprises. And if I can pick up the startups out of 225,000 in India only, 90% companies or startups are using AI. And not only startups, I mean, if you can look at the enterprise as well, some or other companies building agents and, coming up with more LLMs and co-piloting and doing a lot of automation. We are among the first companies in India who is building up the platform, and we got this module already ready, piloted. We got a customer as well, which does the complete compliances, your security management, as well as do internal red teaming as well. So it's a biggest problem which we can see it's not going to overcome in next couple of years as the way AI is growing. Now, why we are doing it now? As I said, AI is that AI and cloud. If I look at it like 6-7 years back, cloud is pretty much getting adopted, and it's very easy to start with. Now, within this AI era, it is getting adopted. 89% of organizations are running on multi-cloud and using AI, right? Regulatory wave is already there. You might have heard of DPDP Act is getting enforced, and now they're getting, getting audited. And there's a huge compliances coming from various geographies across the globe, right? Other thing is the cost. Buyers are trying to consolidate tools. And security talent, specifically around AI area and more on the security side of it, is always a challenging. So it's a right time to just focus on that particular part. Now, how do we solve these problems? We built up a platform. It's a cloud agnostic, where you can connect any cloud, any SaaS, any containerized environment within the cloud, or even if you have a local deployment into a private cloud or into a data center. We automate everything. We can scan your entire environment, and we give you three things. One is, how do you comply with the regulatory requirements or the standard requirements? Second is, how is your complete attack surface? Third thing is like, how the overall security management is being managed across the complete stack you have. Then we guide them like step-by-step guidance, like how do you remediate those issues. The platform can be onboarded in just 15 minutes. And what it does is discover across the board. It will assess for posture, vulnerabilities, AI threats, and it will guide you the remediations for that. And what would be the output of it? In 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, you got to see the compliance reports, you got to see the posture, you got to see the dashboards, reports. Uh, Whoever want whatever kind of reports, they can get it into few minutes only. Uh, how it works basically, as I said, like data sources are multiple clouds. I've just given some hypothetical examples. We support like more than 25 SaaS tools. We support Kubernetes environment. We support 5 clouds, and we are covering every single LLM or the models that is not specific to cloud. Even if you have developed or using a open AI, or you're using any sort of a LLM like Anthropic, OpenAI, you connect everything. And we'll scan everything for all of these things from a security standpoint, and we'll give you the complete outcome, which is helpful for managing the security. This platform is not only for startups. This can, very good start for startups, but it can go to a large enterprise level as well. Now, what is the business model? Like, we are definitely going into SaaS subscription. We are enterprise licensing. We are also providing the managed compliance. We are building up a channel partnership, and we are also built in a MSSP program where our channel partners can use the tenant for providing or connecting to their own customers. It is very, very simple, already built in, working fine, and a couple of MSSPs are already working with us on that part. Competitive landscape. I'm sorry.
Manish, you run out of your time. You would like to wrap up, please?
Yeah. So on competitive landscape, 2 different markets. One is focusing on compliance. One is focusing on security. We are placing exactly converging in between of it. We would be the among top 10 companies who's covering security and compliance together. I think just for let you know about this final slide, is being built by the team who's having a phenomenal experience. Prashant is our CTO, Moultrie is our Chief Growth Officer. I'm taking care of the market and the production. We have a great advisory board who's again having a great experience across the board. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Manish. Clearly, a pretty intense level of, and perhaps a new horizon of AI-powered cybersecurity that you spoke of, that Solarnex is offering. Awesome presentation. Pawan, would you like to share any thoughts or comment regarding the Solarnex presentation?
So Manish, I think you are at the right time at the right place. These are the things which are in big demand, not only just for customers, but also from investors. So a lot of investors are looking for these kind of solutions. You should go out there and raise money. Couple of things. One, you said, I know that you couldn't cover your GTM slide, but you did mention that not just startups, even large companies could use these kind of things. But who are you building it for? For startups, for SMEs, or for large companies?
Well, this product is built in a way it can be used by a startup and it can be used by enterprise. So the whole platform is categorized into multiple modules from for different segments. Like, for example, identity and access management, or for a SaaS posture management, or for your vulnerability management. If a startup is not able to pay or spend that much of money on security, we can stitch it very small modules for them. But as a large enterprise,
But would that be your first go-to market?
We already testing the product from January. We launched the beta version in January. We already tested with more than 18 customers, not on a large scale, but mid-size to startups. We are already acquired customers internationally as well. So from that perspective, we are looking forward to work.
I would really suggest if you go to the first one category, which is the lowest hanging fruit for you, where you can showcase the efficacy of your product faster and better. Go after that. But I think you probably are thinking about that. We didn't have enough time to discuss, but I think this was good. Thank you so much. And you, as I said, go out there, raise money.
Yeah, thank you, Pawan. Really appreciate that.
Thanks so much, Manish. Thanks so much, Pawan. we come to the end of the program since we had 3 startups who are presenting, and I can see that Sana has shared the ecosystem First Wings Connect portal link in the chat box. Those who are IDFC First Bank customers can simply go to that link, submit their startups, and the next steps will commence. For those who are not IDFC First Bank customers, you can still submit over there, but needless to say, the program will commence once you have become an IDFC First Bank customer. So that link is there if you would like to copy it, because once we end the session, you will lose the link. So if you just want to sort of copy it somewhere on your notepad, that would be awesome. Which brings us to the end of the session. And once again, I wanted to thank all the participants who took the time out for this session today. I would like to thank Bhavesh and the entire First Wings Connect team at the startup banking vertical of IDFC First Bank for driving these initiatives. And most importantly, Pawan, thank you so much for putting so much thought and effort in distilling, and I know it can be very difficult to sort of distill, key lessons in such a short span of time. But as you could see and sense from the feedback from the viewers and listeners, it was highly appreciated and extremely relevant. And thank you so much. And of course, I know that the First Wings Connect team will be in touch with you for other synergies to be explored. And once again, thank you so much. And once again, thanks to all the participants. And watch this space because we'll be having such sessions at regular intervals. So do watch this space as we come up with another edition of VC Talk very soon. Signing off for now. Thank you so much. Best of luck, best wishes.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.